Hey, true believers. Chris Mack coming at you with an extra special review today. I wanted to go over the Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Turtle Blimp, which is the wacky attack aircraft with the balloon that blows up to 30 inches long. I wanted to do this in honor of our page getting up to 300 subscribers. And I want to thank all of you who come and hang out with us, talk with us down in the comments. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. And because of that, I wanted to share a childhood memory with y'all. I remember when I got the original one when I was a kid, and I absolutely lost my mind when I opened it up on Christmas. Took the whole thing, put it together, slapped all the stickers on it. I would fly that thing around my house. And then as I got older, it disappeared. And to this day, I have no idea what happened to it. I still have my sewer, still have the party van and the pizza thrower, but my blimp just disappeared. I asked my folks when they were still alive, and they said, I don't know. And I'm betting, I can't blame them now, but I'm betting 10-1 that they probably sold it to get money and probably did not confer with me, which I get, but I don't. So with that said, I want to give a shout out to Danny and Sam with Toys and Tits. They're the ones that hooked me up with this. I'll make sure to leave a link to their Facebook page down in the description. They always have great deals, and so I had to get this reissue. And I'm glad that they used the original box. The artwork is absolutely beautiful. The only thing that I have to say is, we got Donnie saying radical ride. We got Leo saying we're 4 wild and crazy guys. If you guys get the reference, then brownie points. But here's where I feel a little weird, because Raph's falling out and he says cowabunga with a K. And then Mikey's over here in the back saying, get him! I kind of feel like Raph should be the one saying get him, and Mikey's saying cowabunga, but with a C. But then again, when this one was made, 80s, God knows what they were on when they made this. So you can see the front looks absolutely beautiful. Pull it down here. You kind of get what the blimp looks like there. Same thing on the side. Oh, God, this thing is heavy. Come around to the back. There is a read-up, so I'll make sure to get a close-up so you guys can read that at your discretion. At your discretion. And then this really cool shot of the blimp there, and it tells you all the interesting things that it can do. And then, of course, the same product shot there on the side. I'm not going to waste time there. And then on the bottom, looks good there. So with that said, guys, for this special 300th viewer, subscriber video, let's go ahead and get this bad boy out, and let's take a look at it together. So as you can see, true believers, I had to back this thing up because it is so big, it doesn't fit within the confines of my studio. So please forgive the behind the scenes, but as you can see, I love how big the blimp is, or the balloon, blimp, whatever you want to call it. The only thing, I can't remember if the OG one was this long or not, or if it was longer. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the one thing, of course, it took me about half an hour, to blow it up because, late 30s, it's going to kill you. So heads up on that. And also another thing I want to point out too is when you attach this to the glider, make sure that you keep this deflated because you have to, there's pegs up underneath here that you have to peg the balloon in place. Same with these fins here on the back. I got the fins attached, blew the balloon up, and realized that the pegs had to go into the glider. Needless to say that everyone in the house could hear me for probably a good 10 minutes. So yeah, just to save you all time, connect it to the glider, get the fins on there, and you're going to be fine. And you're not going to end up crazy and tired like I was. Now, with that said, the glider. I absolutely do not like this glider. This is not the OG glider. I was actually, because sometimes how people say the Mandela effect, there's parts of my childhood where I'm like, I swear this turtle blimp, there's parts, yes. So anyway, this is a hybrid from the OG 80s one and I guess the 2012 release, which I looked at the 2012 release and oh my God, that thing was ugly. So if you guys enjoy it, I apologize, but I actually thought that that thing was ugly as hell. Why do I say that? We'll talk about that here in a second. First off, here on the glider, as you can see, the OG one had bomb releases here. So let me see if I can get a zoomy for you guys real quick. Zoomy. So here, as you can see, back in the OG one, there was bombs that used to be here, and then you'd push this little trigger, and it would drop all the bombs. Now you put the turtles on here, and they are supposed to repel, that's the word. I have not had enough coffee yet. Let me try to get a little bit of better focus. So just to kind of show the different iterations of turtles here, this is the old G, this is old G, old G, OG 80s Playmates turtle. Like, he's even the squishy head. I remember actually getting these from, what was his name? I think his name was Mike. I swear to God, I was like 5. And he gave me this plastic blister pack full of toys. And it was 4 of the original Ninja Turtles, the Super Friends, Green Lantern. And I think, y'all remember Crystar, the comic or whatever it is? I think there was like a version of him in there. But yeah, he gave me those, and oh, I still have those turtles, man. So I got that, and you can see he's been through the ringer. And then these were the movie time ones that came out after the second Ninja Turtle movie. And then we've gone over this set. This was the 35th anniversary Playmates Ninja Turtle set, and I still love these black and white ones. And I will admit that he seems to fit better on this glider here compared to the other ones. They're trying to put him, you know, this Raph on the rappel line. That was a little frustrating. So we'll get into that in a second. Let's go ahead and get these guys out of the way here, and we'll kind of spin around the balloon right fast. I couldn't think of how to do a good walk around of the blimp without actually taking my camera off the tripod. So forgive me as I go around this thing, guys, but this thing is so huge. And I do appreciate that this re-release actually keeps all the cool little art pieces on here. Like, even though it's just the balloon in and of itself, I'm glad that they made it look like there's a cockpit, and that there's supposed to be lights illuminating the turtle logo. And then, of course, you get the big O engines here with some battle damage. So even though you can't do jack squat with it, it's still, I'm glad that they kept that old school part. Now, hold on, this thing is being a shit. Stay. You get the other half of the cockpit here. And just the inner workings. It adds kind of like how, you know, the old stuff always had that dingy, like Donatello pulled all this crap out of the sewer to slap it together, which 90% of the time he did. Now, what I want to talk about that irritates me to death on this glider the most, like the bomb release, I can let go. This part, for me, is unfreaking forgivable. If you are an OG fan like I am, you'll remember that the glider used to kind of come out and it would have these like turbine engines on the side so that the brothers could sit on it. And this is where the re-release of the 2012 comes into play, where you don't have like the little blaster here on the front. It just looks so basic and does not look anything like the OG cartoon. If they were going to do a re-release of the OG, they should have committed to the bit instead of trying to do a Frankenstein, which I do not in any way, shape, or form appreciate. And if you remember, there used to be a trigger here that would release the bombs that you'd connect here. So having the turtle storage here, that to me is okay, but still, I miss having my trigger, and I miss having where the turtles could sit here. That's just absolutely frustrating. The other thing that I thought was kind of dumb, and I think I remember from my childhood, and on this box, it even says that there's supposed to be a little, what do you call it, pivot to where you could hang the balloon from the ceiling. As you can see in this re-release, non-existent. Yeah, so the blimp in and of itself is, and here's another thing. Because they made the base of the glider so damn small, you put one turtle on, the whole thing topples. It has to be balanced, and that's, to me, is absolutely stupid, and just it pisses me off. It absolutely pisses me off. Let me get it close on the glider so you can see what the hell I'm talking about here. Look at this. Look at how narrow this is. Again, talking about the OG one, it came out and then the turbines were out here, so it would actually have a good balance. But now, because of these tiny ones, how far the balloon comes out, and then as Donatello would say, equal mass displacement, ha ha ha, Turtles 3. It don't fucking work. It just don't work! It's so frustrating, sorry, but... but at least I have my turtle. Sorry, but these OG ones, yeah, he is banged up because I played these things to death when I was a kid. But let's see how Raph here pits up against this repelling, now that we've had a minute to gawk at this OG Playmate Turtle. Let's slap this thing on old Raph and see what happens to him, shall we? Alright, let's see if this repel is worth a flip or not. So, you take the bad boy up. Now, there's these little buttons right here. Now, on mine, I don't know if anybody else is going to have this, but mine doesn't, when you push it in, he doesn't go all the way. So I have to kind of push it, push it, push it. And it doesn't work too well on mine, as you can see. Nah. Come on. Yeah, because when you hold it in, it's supposed to drop them. But mine's not doing it. So, fail. So I have to kind of pull it out and spin it. So, at least it works. And on my Raph, I had to put it on his side belt. I don't know if this works better with the re-releases, but the part where it's supposed to put that dagger, I saw someone put it there, but mine's older. It doesn't hold, so I had to use the side thing there. So it's in theory, this is a cool concept, but I think for a re-release, especially when it's supposed to be nostalgia, I definitely would have went with the, ooh, look, he's swinging. I would have went with the OG, because this is kind of, bleh. Overall, I don't really hate the Blimp. I think it's a beautiful piece, especially for those of us that had it when we were kids, and, you know, whether parents got rid of it or sold it off later on in life, this is a nice addition to have. I will say that I am bugged that we don't have the original, as I said, the original stretch out here with the turbines. That would have been nice. And the other thing that is, what turtles were these made for? I mean, as you can see, the Donatello from the 35th anniversary release fits in it for the most part. But Leo from the 90s movie, look at the way that his sword kind of just, or his sword sheaths kind of keep him from really hanging out there. And then Raph, he hangs in okay. And as we just saw a minute ago, the propelling or the repelling is just not there as it should. It's a really cool concept, but for this re-release, I kind of wish that they would have went more old school. That's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop and see if anybody has traded this in. If not, then I've seen them at one time in history or another, Walmart, and I think maybe Target, and then you can always try to find online. But I'd always say, please first and foremost support your local comic shops to keep those brick and mortar stores open. Speaking of which, if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little turtle bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys will get notified. You can come to the channel, and we love talking with you and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below, or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So before we go, there are 4 individuals that I do want to give a shout out to. I want to give a shout out to Jay Arenello. Brother, if I pronounced your last name wrong, I am so sorry. Woodrome Illustrations, Tuggernaut Collectibles, and Supertron. All of you have always made it a point to come by the channel and, let me know what you guys think of the figures. And just come by and, you'll harass me, troll me, and I love it because it's just buddies hanging out. So the 4 of you, I appreciate you very much. And a special shout out to Woodrome Illustrations, because all the cool props that I use, like whether it be the brick walls, etc., so forth, he is the one that creates those for me. So brother, thank you so much. And Tugs, I love that you come in and you always give me a hard time. Appreciate it, brother. Supertron, thank you for always hitting me up on Twitter with all that cool DC Comics knowledge. It is always helpful. And Jay, I appreciate you always saying, especially with this review when I gave a tease of it on the YouTube channel community section, he goes, hurry up with that damn review. Well, brother, I am kicking ass to get this done for you. So with all that said, thank you all so much for making this such a fun community to be a part of. I appreciate every single one of y'all, and I hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.